Hi there, welcome back, Gabriela here. Today I want to talk about something that can trip up Spanish learners. Verbs whose meaning depends on intention. That's right, intention can change everything. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're watching a movie or TV show and a character says, "Mira eso." You might wonder, why mirar and not ver? This is a super common question for students, and it actually applies to several verbs in Spanish. The key difference lies in the level of intention behind the action. Here's the main idea. In Spanish, some verbs share a similar meaning but vary in their approach or intention. Let's say oír and escuchar. Both are related to hearing, but oír is more passive. It's just perceiving sound. Meanwhile, escuchar involves a deliberate action, like actively listening to something. It's all about how much focus or effort you put into the action. This also happens in English. If it's your first language, you might not even notice it, since you've been using these differences without thinking about them since you were a child. But for Spanish learners like me, it's natural to have these questions. For example, in English, we make the distinction without thinking in verbs like talk and speak. Talk refers to general, informal communication or conversation, right? While speak is more formal and usually involves clear, structured words or used for serious communication. And hey, having these questions is a great thing. It means you're being observant, which is a huge part of mastering any language. Language is more than just rules and grammar. It is a way of communicating, and every sentence has intention behind it. Now, we've covered the basics. Let's dive into some examples to make it clearer. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps others discover this video. If you'd like to get a quiz on similar verbs, I'll be sharing it in my next newsletter. Subscribe and I'll send it straight to your inbox. I also share tips and exercises to help you improve your Spanish. The link is in the description. All right, so before we get into the examples, I just want to clear something up. When I talk about the intention behind picking a verb, I'm really talking about semantics. Basically, the meaning behind words. It's all about understanding the small differences between see and look, or hear and listen. The verb you choose can totally change the tone. So let's check it out with some examples, okay? So this is the way that the exercise looks like. Basically, I'm giving you a scenario where you, according to the verbs that you choose to use, the meaning behind is gonna slightly change. Okay, so let me show you. Imagine that you are in the zoo, right? And you have something interesting in front of you. But your reaction is gonna depend on how you use your sight, let's say. Okay, so what we have here is a situation and 4 different similar verbs that the intention behind change. So we have mirar, observar, contemplar, y ver. They are similar, they share the same semantic feel, but the intention behind changed a bit. If you see a monkey doing something funny, what is your reaction? Let's say, miras con atención para entender qué está haciendo. If you do this, then you might find out that the monkey is playing with a stick. If you choose observar, observas los detalles de cómo se mueve y actúa. what it means that you realize that the monkey is imitating the visitors, right? So you might think, oh, that's smart. There are similar verbs. Both are related with side, but they imply a slight difference, right? So, let's see another example. Ahora llegas al área de las jirafas. ¿Qué haces? ¿Contemplar o ver? Dos opciones. Contemplar. Contemplas la escena en silencio disfrutando la vista. O ves rápidamente y continúas. Both are related with the same semantic field. They are both related with sight, with observing, checking what you have around, right? But in one option, you are enjoying the moment, taking time to appreciate everything. And with the other, you're just looking and moving forward. Why this is important? Because sometimes we are watching a film or talking with someone, and I know that we get caught in our mind thinking, why he chose that word and not this one? What is the difference in between these two verbs? This, the intention. So I have more examples here, but I don't want to be annoying with this. I have a scenario in the kitchen, a different scenario in a concert, and a different scenario in the forest. Why? Because there are so many verbs that are similar in this area. Let's go with the scenario in the kitchen. Estás en un concurso de cocina. Hay un plato misterioso enfrente de ti y necesitas descubrir los ingredientes. Al probar un poco de sopa, percibes un aroma interesante. ¿Qué haces? 4 options. Oler, percibir. Oler, percibir. Hueles profundamente para analizar qué especies tiene. If you do this, you might identify that it has some cinnamon, right? If you choose percibir, percibes el aroma, pero no te detienes mucho en los detalles. You realize that smells good, but you don't identify anything special, right? 2 similar options, but the intention behind the action, it's crucial. In one, I'm gonna take some time exploring every single detail, and the other one, it's just smelling and continuing. Then you can have saborear and degustar. Imagine that you decide to take some more time extra tasting. ¿Qué haces? Saborear. Saboreas lentamente para disfrutar el sabor general. O degustas con atención para analizar cada ingrediente. So, they're similar, but they're not the same. In one, you might find some balance in between the sweet and the sour and the spicy. And the other one, degustar, you might find like a tiny lemon flavor in the background. These are things that in a conversation, they're not gonna make a difference. At least not from my perspective. Why? Because in the purpose of communication, we as native speakers are not gonna be judging you from the verb that you choose. No. We are gonna be super happy that you are speaking Spanish, and we're gonna be grateful for that moment, right? So, for that, it's not as important as we might think. But for getting the right meaning in a book when reading, or when this intrusive thought comes to our mind and we are like watching a film or listening a song and we are like, why he chose that? this is when semantics gets in the way, right? So I have more examples here at the concert and in the forest. So if you want to get a bit deeper on this, subscribe. And I'm gonna send you this through the email. Let's go back to the other video and I'm continuing explaining things there. Ciao. Now that you've got a better idea of how these verbs work, you might be thinking, oh, I need to focus more on this. But no, this knowledge is absolutely irrelevant when it comes to speaking, building rapport, and truly connecting with someone in Spanish. Why? Because for the purpose of communication, this isn't all that useful. Not a single native speaker is going to think, oh no, they used mirar instead of ver. Honestly, I use them interchangeably myself, and you probably do the same in English without even realizing it. This is something we naturally learn as kids through instinct and a super complex process in our mind that we weren't even aware of. So why let something like this get in the way of connecting with people in Spanish? Don't. Grammar and knowledge like this are great to know and be aware of, but they are not rules to follow strictly. The whole point of speaking a second language is to feel good about it. My advice, don't get too caught up in these details. Remove the noise that comes from overthinking and just keep going. Gracias por ver este video. Don't forget the thumbs up and see you the next time. Ciao.